Alright guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about battery warranty date codes. And a lot of times when you go and you test a battery and you find out whether it's got a problem or not, you might want to know, well, is there anything I can do to get warranty coverage on that battery? And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to first show you the things that don't matter, right? So this is a bad battery. I like this top done tester for that kind of thing, this BT100. So some of the things that we can look at on these batteries, this is that time of year to hunt those, you'll sometimes see dates on the labels, like over here. This date here looks like August 2015. This has got nothing to do with the battery. That's actually a part number for GM for this sticker, and that's a revision date for that sticker. And you'll sometimes see that on the stickers up here, like over here we can see this one has a part number, February 2018. So those have nothing to do with the battery. Some other things you might see is on the back of the battery. Now I'm not going to show this one because it's not as easy to see. I mean, this one here has the code burned into the plastic, but it's very unlegible just because of the wear. But if we look at this other one, we can see there's a code in the back of these batteries. Now this code though doesn't mean anything that you can decipher. It's not something the dealer can decipher either. That only means something to the OEM supplier that sold and made this battery for ACDelco. So that's not something to be concerned with either. Also on the front here you can find a code that's melted into the plastic in the front area. It'll sometimes be in one of the corners on the top depending on the battery size. That also only means something to the supplier to ACDelco. There'll be a serial number on the battery, on the sticker, and that also doesn't have anything to do with your warranty date code. The date code is actually this guy right here, and this is what tells you whether or not this battery is still under warranty. In the case of this particular ACDelco Professional 78 series, it's a Professional Gold with a 42-month warranty. We'd want to see, is there anything left on this? So let me show you the format and how you read this particular code. I'll also show you some variances to this code. There are different types of battery codes besides this one, and I'll also show you some other ACDelco batteries that don't have a code at all. Alright guys, here you can see the official ACDelco format for this date code that's used on what they call the battery warranty insert tag. In this example here on the screen, it's a P104G. The P stands for a Professional Series battery. 10 being 10 for the month of October, 4 in this case being the last digit of 2014, G being the letter code assigned to the OEM manufacturing plant that supplied ACDelco with this particular example battery. So P104G is a Professional Series battery that's warranty started in October of 2014. So let's go back to the three batteries I started showing you and now read the codes now that we can see the format. Then we'll come back and I'll show you codes on several different types and series of ACDelco batteries. So now that you've seen the code format, these three batteries we've got here, this is a Professional Series battery, November 2018 at the plant that's assigned code letter P. Now these particular batteries are a pair here. This one has the exact same date code. And these are both out of warranty because from 2018 to the current date of the video is past the 42 months, so these both get to the recycling center. When you have a diesel engine and you have two batteries, you want to make sure you get these very closely coded together so they're on par. This battery back here is also out of warranty. This is a P Professional Series battery from August 2018, also from the plant that's assigned letter code P. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you several other types of battery labels, Advantage and Silver Series, Gold Series. We'll also take a look at some Marine Voyager batteries that are used in boats, and then I'll show you some of the types of batteries that are used on the GM assembly line, and also some batteries that are used in other products like motorcycles, jet skis, ATVs, and lawn tractors. I'll show you all of those as well, so stay tuned. Alright, so here's the overall format for how to read these. You can see starting on the right, it goes from 2005 and then folds over onto the left. The most current card for these goes all the way up to 2025. Here we're making this video at the end of 2022 here. So the year code is simply 0 through 9, constantly rotating around, and then the month codes is 0, 1 for January all the way through 1, 2 for December, and then it continues on and rotates around the same. Now you might wonder, well, why can we have these codes for the years be reused? And that's pretty simple. A car battery or a boat battery or any of these kind of batteries for that matter is not going to last 10 years. Now, if you get 4 or 5 years out of it, you're doing great. So that allows them to rotate these digits around. So for example, sitting here in 2022, there is 0 chance I am going to be dealing with a battery from 2012. It would have long since gone to the recycle pile. The series codes on the right, the older series codes, P and S, those have been either deprecated or repurposed, as we can see currently on the left. So P is now gone. It's replaced by G. S is still there, but instead of Advantage, it stands for Silver. The H is the same. K and M on the right-hand side got repurposed. Marine batteries are now signified by an M only. K is no longer used. And then there's 2 new codes, Q for a special no-core type battery and F for a factory-activated battery. This would be a dry cell battery where the acid has already been added into a special purpose specialty battery. And then power sports batteries like motorcycles, jet skis, ATVs, lawn tractors, things like that, they don't have a series code at all. In fact, this warranty date code format doesn't apply to those types of batteries. So let's go through and look at several different examples of each of these different series codes so you can get the hang of how to read these. So let's start off with series code S, the Silver series. You got 3 here that are relatively new, and you can see the hashed lines or the dotted lines around the warranty insert tag. And you see why they call it that, where that can be peeled off and separated from this label. The lower left one is a little bit older, where they were still using the blue kind of color on the label when it was still under the Advantage line. The next up will be series code G. This is all the new G-coded batteries. There's several different examples for you to see. Showing both P plant codes as well as R plant codes. Now you can see, for example, the P plant codes are made in Korea. So there's an OEM supplier to ACDelco in Korea. And you can see over here on the right, the R plant code is actually made in Vietnam. So there's a different supplier giving the batteries for those that have an R code. Next up, we'll take a look at series code P. Now this, like I said, is deprecated now. You'll find these up through 2021, but no further. They would be replaced by the G Gold series. Here, as well as the others, I forgot to mention, these little red arrows indicate where you look on the label to find those date codes. And so here you see a variety of different date codes on these labels. This shows you the great variability that the Professional series batteries had. Some had red and gold, some had blue, blue and silver, blue and white, or blue and gold. Lots of different colors were used for this Professional series. Next up, we have here series K and M. These are Voyager marine batteries for boats. So the examples in the middle and the right are K and M examples. The bottom one being one of the most recent M examples, and K being one of the last of that series code before it was deprecated. The one in the example on the left, if you notice, the serial number is all zeros. This is actually just a marketing label used for GM, gives to websites to show when they're going to sell ACDelco batteries and they're an authorized retailer. This is like a sample, but it's interesting that they used a P code there. So you never know. You sometimes can find these P-coded marine batteries. I have seen them, so that's why I included that example here as well. Here's a series code H, for example. H would be the kind of batteries you'd find in a semi-truck, an 18-wheeler. These are really large batteries that ACDelco makes, but these are heavy-duty H-coded batteries. And this next one up here is a variance to the format that I've shown you. In this case, there is no series code and there is no plant code. And the year code is 2 digits instead of 1. Now, I've only seen this on a supplier that has a yellow plastic top AGM type battery from a few years ago. I don't think this is done anymore, but these are still out there that you might encounter. So let me show you a few examples of this format exception. So here you see these 3 here. All have just 4-digit date codes, no series code, and no plant code. Otherwise, they're very similar to the ones we already looked at. The one thing they'll have in common, all the examples I've seen like this, the plastic on the top is yellow for this particular supplier. Also, I've seen all these batteries are made in Korea. The next up we have here is an example of the types of batteries that come off the General Motors assembly line. These batteries are black label batteries. They're always going to be black with the ACDelco logo and silver. And these batteries might be white, as you can see here. So white, light silver, maybe a light gray, but it's going to be the kind of format you see here. The one on the lower right is an example where you don't always see the GM logo, although more often than not, the GM logo will be there. There's no warranty date code on these batteries. They will have the hot stampings like I showed you at the beginning of the video with codes that only mean something to the actual supplier, to ACDelco. They're not sold or warrantied retail, and they're not going to be warrantied separately from the vehicle. So the warranty on these batteries is tied to the manufacturing date on the vehicle. So if you open up your car door, you've got a sticker on the driver's side door that gives you the month and year of manufacture. You can also use the VIN. That's how the dealer would do the warranty on this particular type of battery. And then last but not least are these Powersports batteries. So these are the batteries I mentioned that you'd find in motorcycles, ATVs, jet skis. Some of these even would go in something like a scooter or a lawn tractor. These batteries do not have any of the date code formats that we talked about. They will not have a separate type of format. They don't have any date code at all that's decipherable by users or the dealer. You would only get warranty on these from the original receipt. So make sure you keep your receipt. They only have typically a 1 year at most warranty. They won't go past that, so it's not like there's a long time to keep track of it. And that's it, guys. I hope this helps you understand how to read the warranty date codes on your Delco batteries, your ACDelco batteries, and tell if there's something left to get some credit at your GM dealer or at your local supplier that you purchased the battery from. If you got questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below. I'd love to hear it, and I'll try to help if you got a question. And as always, thanks for watching.